Hello everyone and welcome to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist, which is a narrative RPG with card-based battles. I played the demo like 2 years ago, something like that. And without further ado, let's start this playthrough. Wake up. You wake to chaos, a confusion of light and heat and smoke. Fire! Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here, or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Oh? Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. What's going on? You try to speak, but the words come out jumbled. Your throat seizes around a lungful of choking smoke, and you feel dizzy and confused. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you towards the door. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. Okay. Oh. Glowing eyes. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog? Like from Earth? Is it friendly? I don't think so. The creature howls and lunges, its jaws open. What an experience to wake up to. And there we have the title screen. I was a teenage exocolonist. What a nice intro. Hello, ship. You are born on the Stratospheric, Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. Your parents run the hydroponic gardens, which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like the other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Vertumna 4 in the hope they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They name you Solane. You're a bright-eyed child with an active imagination, sometimes too active, your mom says. You have vivid dreams of things you've never experienced. Dirt under your feet, skies overhead, endless jungles, and strange animals. You wonder if this is what Vertumna will be like. Every child on a Stratospheric is given one genetic enhancement. By age 6, you see the first signs of your absorbent brain. Professor Hal says kids learn fast because their brains are like sponges, but when people get older, they can't absorb as much new stuff. Not for you. You're always learning and your curiosity knows no end. The other kids have trouble keeping up with you, but one tries. Tough and gentle Cal. Cal is a sweetheart, always ready to lend a hand or play a game. He and Tammy are just as inseparable, so it's almost like you have two best friends instead of just one. Cal teaches you how to take care of all the classroom plants. Your parents are very proud of both of you. You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Hal says it's like a doorway to other star systems, with the planet Vertumna 4 on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble. Then things start to slide off the tables. You hurry to gather near the escape pods just in case. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, Solane, your dad soothes. We'll be through the wormhole and down on the planet before you know it, just like we've practiced. Your mom gives him a sharp, worried look. Red emergency lights switch on as a siren begins to sound somewhere distant in the ship. You try to breathe slowly like you were taught, but you're very scared. You look out a porthole. The stars are gone. When you're frightened, you get in touch with your emotions. You bawl like a baby. It feels good. You aren't the only one. Nearby, your classmate Tammy has tears streaming down her cheeks. Mars is trying quietly to console her. She sighs as your crying makes Tammy wail even more loudly. Your dad puts his arms around you as you let it out. I mean, I'm 10 years old! You wait. The shaking builds. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hallway stretches, and you're stretching too, your arms impossibly long. Your head feels like it's slowly filling up like a balloon and contracting down to the size of an atom at the same time. Is this the wormhole? You hear the distant, ominous squeal of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is a sense of déjà vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know somehow that everything is going to be okay. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch and feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall head first. You black out. Ouch. As you slip unconscious, you feel yourself twisted out of time. It's today, yesterday, and tomorrow all at once. And more than just one tomorrow, lots of them. Different tomorrows. You find yourself in a place that you know from your dreams. Tilled fields, dramatic ridges, and a stranger, but also not a stranger, grinning as she grabs your hand. Hurry up, she says. I'm not going to let you miss this. Distantly, you can feel the ship's shaking has stopped and hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. Gradually, your consciousness reforms. You wake up in the medbay. The medbed under you plays a soft tone, and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something seems different about this room. It's so bright. You try to focus on the window. Something's definitely different. Sunlight? Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns is streaming through the windows. You peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere and people walking around outside. On the ground. You better get out there and join them. Rush outside to start your new life. Oh, hello, Tammy. Oh! Tammy jumps as you step out of the ship's quarters behind her. You're awake! You've been asleep in medbay for days. Are you all better? You rub your eyes. You do feel groggy. Everything is so strange. The air feels moist and the ground is covered with pale blue powder that crunches under your feet. The reflections of it are blinding. You squint and look up, then almost fall over from the vertigo. The sky goes on forever. Around you are fungal trees taller than anything you've ever seen before. Your heart pounds in your chest. Are you feeling okay, Solane? You better go see your dad, Tammy says, worried. He and your mom have been waiting for you to wake up. She points southeast toward some odd geodesic domes. Okay. not sure where. Oh, interesting. The garrison, a small team led by Security Chief Rhett, was enough to keep the peace on the stratospheric. To stay busy, they also ran the exercise gym and sports ball courts. Here on Vertumna, the garrison has expanded fast. They're building a huge wall around the colony and have an outdoor firing range and a big covered dojo. And best of all, a regulation-sized sports ball court. Engineering. A low throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. Other corridors lead off to the teaching labs and med bay. You know the route to your classroom well, but the rest of this wing is off limits to children. Congruence, the ship's onboard AI, beams down at you from a nearby holoscreen. Don't forget to study hard, Selene. Well, I'm actually looking for my parents at the moment. Oh, hello, Dad. Selene, your dad gives you a big warm hug. I'm so happy you're finally awake. Dr. Instance thought it'd be best to keep you asleep while your noggin healed. Your mother and I thought you might sleep away the whole year, my snoosy little gooseberry. He checks your head and looks relieved. He was clearly very worried about you, but covers it with jokes and smiles. Aw, you love your dad. Welcome to Vertumna, he says, gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratospheric from the outside except in pictures. The ship has been separated in two and parts taken off to form other buildings and a big wall around the whole colony. The alien jungle creeps right up to the wall. Only the geodesic greenhouses pass outside it, dotting their way up the hill. How did you do this so fast? You've been asleep for weeks, my dear aubergine, he says, and these geodesic greenhouses practically put themselves up. But some of this is only a quick temporary solution, he admits. We'll keep growing and improving things. One day our little colony will be as big as a whole city. Oh, before I forget, he pulls a package out from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Don't you know what day it is? He asks. You honestly don't. You remind him that you've been asleep in medbay. Happy birthday, he shouts, wrapping you in a warm hug. Your birthday already? You feel a dizzying sense of deja vu. You stare hard at the wrapped package. You know exactly what is in there. You remember it. No, you dreamed about this package some years ago on the ship. Inside will be a small medallion in the shape of a sun that your dad made by hand. Let's just open the package. How did you know this? It's exactly as you imagined, as you dreamed. A feeling of panic rises in your throat. Your hand shakes. But how? Your dad notices. Are you okay, Selene? He snaps his fingers. Dr. Instance shouldn't have let you out so early. Sometimes those sleeping meds take a while to wear off. They might make your head feel funny for a few hours. You nod. Maybe that's all it is. Yeah, I don't think so. Someone shouts your dad's name. Listen, I'm so sorry, Selene, but I have to get back to work. There was an accident when we landed, and... He stops himself. Don't worry, we're going to fix it, your mother and I. Professor Hal is expecting you in classes if you're feeling up to it, your dad says, pointing west to the engineering wing in the rear end of the bisected ship. Yes, we were already there. Then he points to the large doors you came out of earlier. Or you can relax in your quarters until you're feeling better. We'll talk later tonight, he says, then kisses the top of your head and ruffles your hair. Have a wonderful birthday, Selene. I love you. I love you too, Dad. Alright. Oh, hello. You see Diz sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south, where grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly, without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of, but then why do we need walls? As a precaution. You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memory so strong that you think you might faint. You imagine something crashing through the wall, something enormous and dark and wriggly. It doesn't look nice. For years in space, you've had half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of sifting through wreckage that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you the dreams weren't real. Breaking you from your daydream, Dis whispers, "I think there are monsters out there." I believe you. No, you don't, he says. You're being sarcastic, I can tell. Nobody believes me. He turns his back and ignores you. They're huge and wriggly and dangerous. Stop making fun of me. You're as bad as Mars. Well, I mean, I wasn't making fun of you. I was being serious. Hello. Hiya, Selene. Anemone seems really at home here. She's rolling a sports ball around with her foot, making patterns in the weird blue snow. This stuff is different from snow on Earth, she tells you, because it isn't cold, but it's still neat and you can make stuff out of it. Your foggy head clears a little. Anemone is simple, physical, real. You always feel grounded near her. What are you making? Yes, snow spirals, she says. But earlier, me and Cal made a big snow pal. You missed it while you were sleeping in medbay. She smiles her broad, gap-toothed smile at you. Now that you're awake, we can play. Why aren't you in school? She smacks her forehead. School! I wondered where everybody was. I guess I'm gonna be late for humanities class. She doesn't look very worried to you. It's okay. Professor Hal is chill. He won't mind, but you should probably go now. She grins and starts running towards engineering. Hey, race you? No fair. She's getting a head start. Well, I mean, she's just standing there. Okay, so that gives us creativity, persuasion, and stress. And there's biology, reasoning, and stress. Let's go for humanities. Welcome, Sloan. Professor Hal greets you. I hope you're all warmed up and ready to study the glorious humanities, history, literature, language, media, and philosophy. And yes, if you're lucky, we'll have a little ancient Earth poetry too. He seems excited about that last bit. By the way, if anyone is interested in taking engineering classes, please register through Congruence's scheduling system when you have a chance. She'll be helping me teach them. Today's assignment is an easy one, Hal says with a yawn, because I was up late repairing Congruence's subterminal and I could use a nap. I'd like you to write an essay on what the Vertumna colony means to you. Yeah, let's go for that. Freedom, equality, democracy! You list all the keywords you think of to describe an ideal government. Did you say freedom yet? Although you aren't totally sure if the colony's government is a real democracy. You know the council votes on things, but you don't get to vote. And who chooses the council members anyway? The governor? Who chooses the governor? The council? You may just be a kid, but you can tell you're missing something here. Get to work. And we need 1. Or no, goal is 9. Okay. Well, we have 3 zeros. So let's put those together. And there. Win! Victorious! You worked well this month. Plus 1 creativity. Good. We got 3 creativity, 2 persuasion, stress, and 1 kudos. Your parents have been working from first dawn to well after dinner every day. You know growing food is an important job and it's vital to get crops in the ground right away, but there seems to be something more than that. It's such a change from growing up on the stratospheric when you saw them all the time. You stay up and wait for them at night before going to bed. Though you can tell they're exhausted, they make an effort to spend time with you. I'm sorry we haven't seen much of you, little gooseberry, your dad says. Your mom watches you as she works a pebble out of her gardening tiller, which also serves as a crutch. How have you been holding up? I learned some stuff in school. I'm glad to hear it, your mom says. I want you to study hard, work hard, and stay out of trouble. Your dad smiles, and Professor Hal will give you kudos if you get good grades. You can spend those at the depot once it's open. You know, says your dad, raising an eyebrow at your mom, I think there are lots of different ways to learn, and school is just one of them. You can learn from working on a hobby or helping a friend. Your mom shakes her head and sighs, though you can tell she's trying to put on a gentle expression. We both agree that this colony is an experiment, and that means we're going to do things differently than on Earth. You're old enough now to start making your own decisions about your education and future, and if that means you find your own way, we'll accept that. Your dad puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll be proud of you no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends. They may have ideas for how you can spend your time. And come to geoponics, your mom adds. We could use your help. Shoveling dirt. That sounds so much fun. Not really. Early quiet, mid quiet. Quiet season, age 10. Well, I am going to end this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!